Welcome back, everyone. Look, if you're a busy student and you're striving for real academic excellence, you are absolutely in the right place today. I'm stepping in as your personal academic mentor to guide you through this explainer. We're going to break down a highly effective, totally evidence-based study guide and transform the whole thing into a practical, daily study checklist. We're talking about optimizing how you learn, how you retain all that complex info, and ultimately how you set yourself up for absolute success. Let's get right into it.
So let's start with a really honest question. Are you just completely tired of burnout? Seriously, are you frustrated by studying for hours, pushing yourself to the absolute limit, only to wake up the next day and feel like you've forgotten, well, everything? Trust me, we've all been there. You're fighting mental clutter and that dreaded forgetting curve. It's a terrible feeling. But the good news? It's a completely fixable problem. You don't need more hours in the day, guys. You just need a better system.
Okay, so here's what we're working with today. The 10 Steps Professional Study Guide. Now, this isn't just some random list of internet tips. This is a curated collection of evidence-based study habits specifically designed for top-tier academic excellence. So what we're going to do together is take these 10 distinct, powerful steps and transform them into an actionable, day-in-the-life habit tracker, something you can literally start using today to prevent procrastination and stop memory loss.
To get there, here's our chronological agenda for this explainer. First, the morning setup. Second, your distraction-free zone. Third, the deep work session. And finally, number 4, the nightly close.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the morning setup.
Obviously, step 1 is just to wake up. But step 2, that's where the magic really begins. Before you look at any new material, or even crack open your notes, you're going to do a 10-minute active recall recap. This comes straight from the principles in the book Make It Stick. Basically, spending just 10 minutes every single morning mentally retrieving what you studied the night before drastically strengthens your memory. Forcing your brain to pull that information up from scratch without cheating, it's basically like hitting the gym for your memory.
Right after that active recall, you're going to use the brain dump technique. So spend exactly 2 minutes writing down every task, worry, or stray thought on a piece of paper. Got an errand to run? Write it down. Worried about some looming deadline? Jot it down. This is an absolutely essential psychological practice. It completely clears out all that mental clutter so you can focus entirely on your subjects without that nagging little voice in the back of your head distracting you.
Moving right along to Section 2, your distraction-free zone. This part brilliantly illustrates the concept of environmental design, pulling directly from James Clear's insights in Atomic Habits. You literally have to create a strictly distraction-free zone. What does that mean? It means keeping entertainment entirely away from your desk. Keep creative tools totally out of reach. By removing visual distractions, you are actively preventing procrastination and priming your brain for deep, uninterrupted work. Your desk should signal exactly one thing to your brain, and that is, it's time to study.
Okay, now we're getting to the heavy lifting. Section 3, the deep work session.
You're going to structure your deep work using the 25-5 interval. You probably know this as the Pomodoro technique, developed by Francesco Cirillo. Here's the deal. You commit to 25 minutes of intense, deep focus, followed immediately by a 5-minute physical break. Get up, stand up, stretch, walk around the room. Doing this exact ratio keeps your brain fresh and is honestly your ultimate defense against academic burnout.
Now, during those 25 minutes of focus, you need to use the teacher method derived from the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman. Whenever you hit a complex concept, explain it out loud as if you're teaching it to an absolute beginner. The idea here is that if you can explain it simply, you truly understand it. But if you stumble, or you have to rely on confusing jargon, well, you've just identified exactly where your knowledge gaps are. It's a real game changer.
So a crucial point here is how you're taking notes during all of this. The old way is writing out endless, long paragraphs. It's passive, and frankly, it's exhausting. The new way? Visual mind mapping. Using visual learning strategies like drawing diagrams and flowcharts actually helps your brain physically categorize and link complex information together. You aren't just blindly transcribing, you're actively structuring knowledge in your head.
All right, we have to talk about the arch enemy of literally every student, the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. This is the psychological principle describing just how rapidly we forget new information if we don't actively practice it. The science shows that without practice, you can forget up to 50% of what you just learned within a single hour. No way, right? If you study a chapter today and never look at it again until the exam, it's going to almost entirely vanish from your memory. We absolutely need a targeted habit to stop this.
And that brings us to the magic of the number 3, the 3-problem rule.
For highly technical subjects, things like math or chemistry, you must solve 3 random problems from an old chapter every single day. Just 3. It takes only a few minutes, but it completely interrupts that forgetting curve and keeps that older information fresh and instantly accessible in your mind.
To manage all of this beautifully, our guide strongly recommends digital mastery. You should use a digital productivity system, something like Notion, to create a visual subject tracker. Every single time you master a topic using the Feynman technique, where you finish your 3 problems, check it off. Visually marking off mastered topics provides this massive psychological sense of achievement, and it really keeps your momentum high.
Let's wind things down with Section 4, the nightly close. This is a super fascinating piece of sleep science and memory consolidation research called the night before effect. At roughly 11 p.m., or right before you're about to go to sleep, take just a few minutes to review your absolute most difficult formulas or concepts. Don't do heavy studying, just review them, because your brain naturally consolidates last-seen information much more effectively while you sleep. You're literally letting your brain do the studying for you overnight. How cool is that?
And the final habit of your day is the consistent close. End every single study session by writing down the very first task you need to complete tomorrow. Not some massive, overwhelming to-do list, just the very first task. And leave that piece of paper right on your desk.
I really want you to see this powerful quote straight from the productivity and habit formation science in our source material. It says, "This removes startup friction and prevents procrastination the next day." By deciding exactly what you're going to do tonight, you wake up tomorrow with zero hesitation. You just sit down and immediately begin. Oh, and as a quick bonus habit, try implementing a Sunday routine where you reflect on your weekly progress and set new goals. It's the best way to ensure this daily system actually stays on track over the long haul.
So, you now have the complete blueprint. From the moment you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow, you are fully equipped with an evidence-based daily study checklist. But remember, knowledge requires action. So I want to leave you with this final crucial question. What is the one specific task you will write down tonight to remove tomorrow's friction? Decide right now, write it down, and I'll see you next time for our next explainer. Keep learning and keep growing.